we've heard a lot about AI today already. So thank you for joining us at this talk to hear even more about AI at Clio. At this session, we aim to explore what a lawyer of the future looks like. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that this lawyer is going to be armed with AI tools to make them be more effective and efficient. This is a try-it-out session, so we will show you our AI tools in action. You've seen a preview of that at Jack's talk, and we'll go in a lot more in depth. And as you know, Duo went live today, so please visit us at our AI lounge to get a demo and actually try it out for yourself. Play with it and ask questions. Check it out, or sign up right there and then. But before I begin, let me introduce myself and my co-presenter. My name is Natalie Berestowski. I'm a director of machine learning and AI in the engineering side of things. And I'm excited to be here with you today. This is my first ClioCon. Woohoo! In Clio, I lead machine learning and production engineering teams responsible for bringing our AI vision to life. And today we're thrilled to showcase to you all our AI-powered features that we've been working hard on for the past year. And I'm also looking forward to meeting many of you in the AI Lounge and having conversations with you to hear what you think about AI and how you think it can help you. Give us some ideas. Let us know what else you'd like for us to do for you. Over to Andrew.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie. As many of you know, my name is Andrew. I'm the designer on the AI team. So that means that all things that you see on the screen with Clio Duo, I've had the privilege of working on all of those things. If we have met in the past, I've also worked on things like matters and contacts across manage and grow. Really, my job is to craft and shape all things in artificial intelligence at Clio. And I really have the really fun part of the job of connecting with so many of you over the last couple of years to understand where things are challenging and how we might be able to improve the Clio user experience for you. So if we have connected in the past, I just want to say a big thank you for helping us out. And I'm really excited to show you what we have in store today. Natalie, back over to you.
All right. Well, it's not going to come as a surprise to anyone, but AI is all around us. I mean, we all have a phone, right? And this little device is packed with AI. From auto-completion or your text messages or emails, and some of us love it, some of us hate it, to predicting routes and time estimations for your commutes. All of these things, they run AI models on the background. And we're so used to it by now that we don't even notice anymore that our lives are very much powered by AI. But a lot of it is in our personal lives. What about 8 to 10 hours you spend in your profession, especially in your life as a legal professional? Don't you wish that when you start your day, not only you get a route and ETA prediction to your office, but you also have an AI tool that gives you a clear view on your priorities for the day? Yes, you've seen it, recommendation. And don't you wish that you can intake and synthesize information a lot quicker with AI? For example, if you have a document that you need to read, instead of spending hours reading it, AI can help you summarize it for you in a succinct manner. Or if you have a set of documents that you have questions about that you want to dig deeper into, you can ask AI in natural language the questions about this document the same way you would ask a colleague or a client about the written versions of the events. And don't you wish that when you come back from lunch and face your inbox of tens or hundreds of emails, AI can help you summarize some of these emails, prioritize what's important, and even suggest replies for some of these emails. With AI, you can stay on top of many other tasks. For example, time tracking. AI can help see what you're doing within the Clio application and actually suggest time entries for you. Or billing. AI can suggest bills that are available for you to review that with the one click you can just send to the client with a quick review. And this list can go on. All these AI-powered activities not only can streamline the core of your work, but also save you a lot of time on laborious and mundane tasks that you do every day. And all that new time can be shifted to things that you love most, helping your clients. So what can this lawyer of the future look like? So, well, we asked ChatGPT to show us one. And here's what we got. Of course, this is what the lawyer of the future looks like according to AI. Of course, you need a holographic screen with the big words AI on it to communicate with clients, or a fancy virtual reality goggle set to review your documents. And of course, you need a last century's typewriter on your desk for drafting. I mean, clearly, there is some room for improvement. Well, but the reality is, this is what a lawyer of the future looks like. A lawyer of the future is you, everybody in this room. And it's not about a fancy holographic screen or reality goggle set. It's about you and your knowledge of AI, of law, working together with AI tools to help you have greater impact. And Clio provides those AI tools for you as part of the Clio Duo. And this will really help you work more efficiently and amplify your impact. Again, streamlining your core work, working with documents or communicating with clients, and also making smaller tasks easier and quicker. Now I will pass it on to Andrew to walk us through a day in the life of a lawyer of the future.
Thank you, Natalie. So, our talk today is going to be like an extended cut version. Like when you buy DVDs, you get, that extended cut version of Jack's demo during the keynote. So we're going to be covering a lot more than what you've seen. I'm really excited to walk through what we prepared today. So that brings us to today, us in this room. We're going to be walking through how Clio Duo is already transforming the legal experience for some of you who might be in early access for Clio Duo. I'm very excited to bring that to everyone today. We're going to be walking through this demo through a life in a day of a fictional attorney. Her name's Janet, and how she's using the power of Clio Duo to make her day look quite a bit different. So here we go. Let's meet Janet, our fictional character. She's the legal professional of the future. And in this fictional world, Janet's a senior associate at a bustling mid-sized firm right here in Austin. And like so many of you, Janet has a reputation for being meticulous, detail-oriented, being a meticulous, detail-oriented lawyer. And Janet's days are often jam-packed with things like meetings, case reviews, client comms, and good old document drafting. But today, Janet has an ace up her sleeve, Clio Duo, her AI-powered partner, integrated seamlessly across her workflows in all of Clio Manage. So Janet, we're going to follow Janet through a typical workday and see how Clio Duo transforms her workday of managing a series of different tasks, making her more efficient, less stressed, and hopefully reclaiming a bit of balance in her day. And here's how we're going to do it. So I've laid out a sort of typical calendar here where we're going to go through Janet's morning and then her afternoon. But typically, most of our days look a little bit more chaotic than this neat Tetris stack over here. And I want to show how Clio Duo can transform our workday from the chaotic piles into this neat pile here. So let's get started. At 8 a.m., we all start by prioritizing what our day might look like. But before we do that, just like many of us, the first thing we turn to is probably coffee first. So I've prepared this perfectly brewed cup of Americano for Janet to get started. And she logs into Clio Manage. And as she comes into Clio Manage, she can see that Duo's personal recommendation dashboard pops up automatically right in her personal dashboard. And has prioritized her day via the different matters that's been laid out here. And I want to give some transparency to how Clio Duo is working here. Clio Duo is looking at the calendar events, descriptions, all the information that you read manually, extracted that, and use that to summarize a list of prioritized matter for you. Just like how you're doing it today, but we've done it for you in just a couple of seconds on page load. Now, the first matter that Clio Duo suggests Janet to focus on is this first vehicle accident matter. And the reason why Duo suggested that is because Janet has a settlement offer review with her client. So for those of you at the back of the room, you might see a smaller line of text underneath the matter name. We call out specifically the reason why this matter is recommended, so you can see the reason and you can trust the output of this recommendation. And we take this very, very seriously. Next, she looks over to the next card. She sees that she needs to work on this worksite injury matter because she has a discovery review deadline set for her later this week. So she blocks off a little bit of time in her calendar today to manage that. And we're going to come back to this matter shortly. But let's jump into, actually before we jump into the first matter, let's do what Jack did earlier, which is let's get a feel for what the week is like. So we've prepared this wonderful card all the way to the left of the screen here. And once Janet clicks it, right there, she's going to be able to get a helpful summary of her entire week coming up. Now, in talking to many of you, we hear that this is something that you do every Monday at the beginning of the week, just to comb through the calendar events coming up, comb through the tasks coming up. So I'm really excited to have this entire hour of work condensed down to a single click for you. And I'm really excited to see how all of you can get accelerated with this card. So let's jump into the first matter. So once Janet is in this matter, it's now around 9 o'clock. Janet starts reviewing the settlement review drafted by her team. Normally, she would spend hours combing through this document, have it downloaded, reading through things line by line. But today, Duo steps in with the document summarization feature. In just seconds, Duo is able to provide Janet with a concise summary. And if this summary is just a little bit too long for, say, an internal status update, Janet is able to use the controls at the bottom to shorten this summary. And Janet is able to copy this using the copy button and share that as a status update. So that trims the document review process from hours down to just maybe 15, 20 minutes of combing through the content, getting a summary, copying the summary, and sharing it as a status update. Incredibly powerful. Now, after working through this first matter, it's around 10 o'clock right now, Janet picks up the second matter. So if y'all remember, I talked about the second matter being a work site injury matter, so a PI matter between her client and this client's workplace. She then hops over to one of her favorite features, the document analyzer. It's actually one of my favorite features as well. So to access the analyzer, there's a couple ways that you can find this feature. One is you can find that big, beautiful button in the top right corner of the documents table. You can also select multiple documents and get started in this process. So we're going to hop into the analyzer now. One slide. Yes, there we go. So in the analyzer, you can see that because Janet has opened it from the matter has been pre-selected for Janet already. She can select up to 5 documents to be analyzed today. And today she selects the accident report, worksite safety inspection report, and one other one that I couldn't see because my slides moved a little bit too fast. Entirely my fault, but we will roll with it. So she starts off by bringing herself up to speed by, did I go a little bit fast? I think I went a little bit fast. So we're going to look through this one more time just to get a feel for how to access the analyzer. So Janet clicks Analyze. She can then select up to 5 documents. So in this case, she selects document from the matter. She selects 3, and then she's going to click the Analyze button in the bottom right corner. Really easy, really simple process. And what Duo is doing here is just analyzing the content of her document. And you can see that these are the files that's been selected. And the first question Janet asks is, hey, give me a summary of all of these different documents. And that's a really powerful way to get caught up on a matter in just a couple of keystrokes. So in a few seconds, you can see that Clio Duo has prepared this nicely formatted summary for Janet. And she also sees that, if you look at the bottom of the screen there are 2 files. So if you remember, Janet selected 3. Now, what's happening here is that Duo is looking at just the files that are important and citing those sources so that both Janet and, Janet knows that Duo's response is grounded in the files that it's drawing its content from. Next, looking at the summary, she knows that she needs to dig deeper into the possible violation code in this worksite injury matter. So she asks, what are the OSHA codes involved? And in a few seconds, the analyzer is able to extract this following list and again, cite the document that it drew its answer from. So I really want to drive home the point that Duo is not just generating content, it is looking at the documents that you have in Clio documents and extracting content so you can quickly get up to speed. Now, to finish up, Janet wants to see if she can get a comprehensive timeline of the events that happened to her client. She then asks Duo to create a timeline for her. And in seconds, she has a timeline she can work with. No more combing through just stacks and stacks of medical record. By feeding these documents into Duo, you can get a timeline just through a question. And I'm personally super excited about this one because I know many of you who practice in personal injury needs to work a lot with different types of record. So being able to get a summary like this is going to very, very much accelerate your work. So after creating her timeline, she copies it to her colleague, and then she shifts into something else. But then right at this moment, she hears a familiar sound. Janet's Outlook notification buzzes with a new email from the client. Now, the client here is a little uncertain about where the case is at. The good old, where's my case at question. I'm sure many of you is familiar with this. So after an in-depth session with the analyzer, Janet sees this notification, and it's an email, client asking about a matter. Now, instead of sweating over the perfect response or even putting off this email for a little bit, Janet hops over to the brand new Reply tab in the Clio Outlook add-in. And Clio Duo is already there to meet her halfway. From here, Janet can see that Duo has consumed the email she selected and generated some starter language that she can copy over into the Compose section of Outlook. And from here, she copies the first suggestion over, makes some changes to it before sending it off. This is all done in seconds rather than painstaking minutes of poring over the perfect language. I'm really excited to see how this part of Clio Duo is going to accelerate how you communicate with your clients. So, if you look at the fictional clock in the top left corner, it is 11:30 on there, and that is the fictional morning section of Janet's workday. Now I'm going to pass it back over to Natalie to give us a quick morning recap before we move on to our exciting afternoon walkthrough.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, we've seen quite a few Clio Duo features in Janet's morning, and while she's enjoying her fictional lunch, which is what we'll get to do soon, but for real, we'll do a mid-presentation recap on things that she did. She started her day by using Clio Duo Smart Recommendations to figure out what does her week look like and what she should focus on when she starts her day on Monday. She then proceeded to the core of her work, working with documents. And she started by using Clio Duo Document Summarizer feature. She needed to review a document and instead of spending hours reading it, she was able to get summary from the summarizer and, kind of customize it to be shorter or longer and then leverage that summary to share it with her team in an update. She then proceeded to do more in-depth document work by digging into details into 3 documents that are related to another case that she was working on. And she did that by using our Doc Analyzer feature. I can only imagine how long it might take to read 3 documents. And she really shrunk a lot of hours of work really looking at details into minutes by just asking a Doc Analyzer in natural language her questions that she has in her head about these documents. And she got really good answers for them. It also allowed her to build a timeline, kind of looking at different dates that exist in all of these documents. She then proceeded to address some communication with her client out of the comfort of her Outlook application using our reply suggestions within Outlook. it's never been easier to address her communication as a starting point using some of these multiple versions of suggestions that she gets from the Clio Duo. And this was Janet's morning. Let's pass it on to Andrew and see how Janet's afternoon is going.
Awesome. Thank you for the recap, Natalie. So now we're going to move into the afternoon part of this presentation. So with the morning done and dusted, we're going to go through the afternoon, where we're going to talk through how Janet catches up on matters, how she communicates with her clients with the help of Clio Duo, and then wrapping up her day with some billing workflows. So coming back to her dashboard, Janet sees this last matter that she has a meeting with Eric and Lisa in the slip and fall case that's coming up next. The last time Janet touched this matter was last week. So she needed a quick refresher on what her team last did in this matter. So she asked Duo to catch her back up in a question that looks like this. Now, I hope many of you do take, extended vacation over the year. It's super important to recharge. But when you come back from that vacation, you need help getting back up to speed. And this question here of catch me back up on this matter is something that I've seen so much value in helping many users of Duo get up to speed quick. So in this summary, Janet also notices that there's a phone call that happened between her team and the client last Friday when she was still out. So she follows up with a question. Hey, catch me up on this call too. In seconds, Janet is able to get filled in on the last point of contact, and she's ready to meet with Eric and Lisa. Now, after the meeting, she sees a notification pop up, and don't worry, I'm not going to play another notification sound. I know many of you were bombarded with that already. But she sees that a notification came in from her app. She sees a message from Thomas, her client from the worksite injury matter we worked on a little bit this morning, asking about some next steps in the matter. This is such a common scenario that I see so many of you have to deal with. And the classic, where's my case at? What do I need to do next? And similar to what you saw in the Outlook scenario this morning, Clio Duo is also in the text messaging feature in Manage and also in the client portal feature. So Clio Duo is able to step in, how like we would typically see in like iMessage or in Gmail, where you have starter message that Janet can use to click and it will be inserted into your message box. It won't auto send for you. We're very deliberate with that point, that you can use these as starter language, and in seconds, you can get the response edited and sent out. So again, we care a lot about helping you get over that writer's block of sending the perfect message. By having Duo assist you in that process, we think that you're going to be able to get back to your clients a lot quicker. So we're near the end of the day here, and near the end of Janet's day here. And Janet suddenly thought about staying on top of her work in progress amounts. And for folks newer to Clio Manage, work in progress also means that work hours that have not been billed. So she opens up Clio Duo and asks if there are any work in progress, and asks if there's any work in progress amount she needs to pay attention to. Clio Duo thinks for a little bit and asks, well, how much are you thinking? So Janet goes, $1,500? She sends it out. And Clio Duo is able to respond with the matters with more than $1,500 in work in progress amount. So Janet can very quickly get on top of these amounts. Janet then jumps into the first matter from this list, and she sees that Clio Duo has a nice, neat little card in the top right corner that says, hey, do you want to generate a bill here? So Janet can hit generate a bill, and the bill will be generated for her right with Clio Duo. And like this. There we go. Single click bill generation. Very exciting. And wow, it's only 5 o'clock in Janet's day. At this time, Janet laces up her running shoes and is about to go on her nightly lap around the river. But before that, she wants a sense of what her next day is like. And just before she fully wraps up her day, she opens up Clio Duo and asks, hey, what's my day like tomorrow? Or what's my priority like for tomorrow morning? And in just a couple of seconds, Duo is able to give her a priority of what she needs to focus on tomorrow morning. Again, based on her calendar. And it looks like Janet has one thing to focus on tomorrow. What a morning. She then laces up her running shoes, shuts off her laptop, and begins her recharge run around the park. So that's the afternoon portion of our walkthrough. Now I'm going to pass it over to Natalie to bring us through to the finishing line.
Thank you, Andrew. All right. Well, let's recap Janet's afternoon and see how Clio Duo made her day just so much easier. After she came back from lunch, she needed to catch up on the matter that she hasn't touched in a while. And instead of going to a matter and switching tabs, she just simply asked Duo to bring her up to speed on what happened on that matter while she was gone. And it did. After that, Janet received a communication from her client, and she needed to address that with a response. And she used Clio Duo SMS feature that allowed her to quickly suggest different responses that she can answer with, really taking into consideration previous conversation and the tone that she's been using. And, nothing works better with a writer's block than suggestions of what you need to say. After that, Janet switched her attention to addressing some questions around the business of her practice. And in this example, she wanted to inquire about the work in progress amount that is outstanding and she can bill for. And Clio Duo found several matters that she has work in progress that she can address. And clicking on a matter, she was able to quickly generate a bill to show to the users and send it over with just one click of a button. And in the end, Janet again turned to Duo to ask, hey, what am I working on tomorrow morning? And Duo told her that she has just one priority for tomorrow morning. And with that peace of mind, she was able to, stop for the day and recharge on the run. And thank you to Clio Duo, Janet's workday is completely transformed from prioritizing tasks to working with documents to expediting communication with clients and automating features like billing and more. Duo empowers Janet to be better, faster, and more efficient lawyer. And the other thing that's important that all our AI features come with the same level of trust, compliance, and security as everything that you deal with in Clio applications, which gives Janet another peace of mind that her data is safe and secure with us, even when it comes to AI. So in this new era of legal practice, with her trusted partner Clio Duo by her side, Janet isn't just trying to keep up with her workload. She's truly thriving in her work environment, splitting that work between her and her expertise in different matters and Duo that helps her pick up slack here and there. And that leaves her with more energy to focus on what truly matters. It's delivering exceptional service to her clients. And now, Andrew, you're gonna take us through the finish line.
I'm gonna take it away. That's my bad. So what we have here is a quick feature sheet of what the Clio Duo add-on has. Feel free to bring your phone out, take a picture. I'm gonna hold on to this slide for another 5 seconds. I'm gonna wait for every phone to come down first before I move on to the next slide. Amazing. So you don't have to just stare at the feature sheet. And Natalie and I are both going to be in the AI lounge down across the street downstairs. Please feel free to use the Skybridge to go over as a shortcut. We're going to be there all day today and tomorrow. So please come say hi. We will be more than happy to give a demo of everything Clio Duo to all of you. So yeah, that's all from our presentation today. We're looking forward to seeing many of you. Quick thank you to, actually before I get there, we have some exhibitors that also have wonderful AI capabilities. Please check them out on the exhibition floor. And thank you to our sponsors and exhibiting partners. That's all. Thank you very much.